this week's chat is about probably the most common question that we get asked. And I think it's been really, the reason this question has been asked so much lately is because we're post-Christmas, silly season, all of that, everyone's kind of getting back.
It's the usual time.
It's the usual time, but it is a question that we are asked about all year round. It's one of the most concerning questions for women, most confronting questions that women want the answers to.
So how do you help
How
me?
do you help me? It's like, help us. And it is, how do we lose menopause weight?
Yeah.
It's hormonal weight.
Love handles, that soft little belly that we get.
And the thing is, what happens with this is that as we go all through our life, through our teenagers, our 30s, and honestly, probably into our 40s, we can do the same diet every time we want and get results. For me, it was always low carb. My go-to was always go to the Atkins diet. I never had to change anything that I did. And I knew if I did that for 14 days, it was a guaranteed weight loss. It was enough to be able to fit into that dress. But then you hit 50.
Yeah. Even before that.
Perhaps even before that. But, once you start to get into those perimenopausal years, or once those hormones start to change, all of a sudden, those go-to diets or fads or whatever it was that used to work for you.
We're going to talk about all that today.
Are all of a sudden not working. And this is why we get this common question. And also what happens is our body shape changes. So, the clothes that I was wearing 5 or 6 years ago look ridiculous on me now.
They still
my body
fit,
has
don't
changed.
they?
They still
They fit, but
I can do the butt.
They fit in a weird
but they don't
way.
look right. I remember when I lost a little bit of weight a couple of years ago, and I was dying to get back into this designer pair of jeans. And because I'd had them for a long time, they were my favourite pair of jeans, and they looked damn hot. I looked really good in these jeans. Okay. And then I finally lost the weight, and I put them on. I was like, they look horrible. And yet this one pair of jeans had been this whole incentive for this weight loss, and when I put them on, I was so disappointed.
It is
my
a weird
body
thing.
shape had changed.
Yeah, so I think now when we buy clothes at this age, when you're in your 40s, especially in your 50s, I noticed that at my age, that I think about, if I'm going to buy a piece of clothing, how long am I going to be able to wear it for?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
What's the longevity of that piece of clothing? Am I going to look like mutton dressed up as lamb?
I don't do that.
Yet.
I just keep buying.
She does.
How long have you had your pair of bikinis for?
We're not going to talk about
How
that.
long? 5 years?
More.
Oh my Lord.
I know. And the bum's falling. Anyway, not my bum's not falling out. The bum of my bikini's falling out. Anyway, all right. So yes, we are going to talk about menopause weight gain today, and from questions that people have sent to us. We thought we'd just grab a few questions off our website and women that email us with this and go, we need help.
We need help.
We're going to ask the questions, and we're going to hopefully give you some answers.
We are. Okay, so this is a question from Linda. I was talking to Linda the other day. She's doing really well. Now, her question is, she says, I'm thinking and doing everything right. I haven't changed the way I eat, and I'm still putting on weight. What is the best diet for menopause?
Really common question. And I think the key thing there in that question is when she says, I'm eating the same. I haven't changed my diet. And the one thing you have to understand when you get into your 40s and 50s, when the estrogen starts to drop and our metabolism changes. So we're not going to burn food. We're not going to burn calories at the same rate as we did when we were 20 and 30.
And the other key factor in there is muscle mass loss.
Yes. Yeah, well, that happens at the same time.
At the same time. And this is affecting
so
the calories that we're burning.
That's right. So when it comes to diet, and let's try not to use the word diet in that sense, but in our eating lifestyle, we need to look at quantity over quality.
Yeah.
So it really is about what we eat. We need to start reassessing the foods that are going to speed up our metabolism and the foods that we need to leave behind that, slow our metabolism down.
Should we be eating less as well, though? Are we trying to? Remember back in the day we used to say, I've got to shrink my stomach. I'm eating too much. And so you'd have these little tiny... Is that a real thing to do?
Well, I think naturally as we get older, when you talk to old people, they say how little they actually eat, they pick. And I think what it is too, when you're eating the right kinds of foods, if you're eating good quality proteins and you're eating good quality fats, you're not going to eat as much because you're going to get fuller sooner, right? So those quality foods are going to fill you up. So in saying that, the best diet or, you know, lifestyle eating pattern is going to be one of quality proteins, so good quality fish and meats and chicken and things like that, and even organ meats if you're into that sort of stuff, but, you know, liver pate. And then obviously quality fruits and vegetables. Don't shy away from fruits. You know, they've got good micronutrients in them, and that's what we forget about with fruit. People think, oh, too much sugar. But fruit actually has important enzymes that break down your food, and they go really well with quality protein. So want
health,
things.
but health as well.
Yes.
I love it when people talk about fruits. I love it when you bring up fruit, because people automatically think that fruit means that it's an apple or an orange or a banana, which are all great, but there's great things like kiwi fruit. Like kiwi fruit has got more vitamin C in it than oranges do. It's high in fibre.
Yes.
So it's
really good for your bowel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 2 kiwi fruit at night before you go to bed will help you go to the bathroom in the morning. Pineapple, it's got bromelain in it, which is a natural anti-inflammatory. Papaya, it has natural digestive enzymes in it. So you're getting if you're eating those sort of fruits, you're actually going to get this beautiful broad spectrum of all the micro minerals that you need. And they're the things we tend to miss out on. We talk a lot about vitamins in food. That's actually the minerals in our fruits and vegetables that are really important. So if you can stick to a diet of quality proteins, fruits and vegetables, throw some nuts and seeds in there, and some essential fats. So things like avocado, hemp seed, you know, that's where you're going to get those.
Well, now I love making salads now. My salads have got so much. I know, they've got so much crunch and seeds. I've got hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, seed mix crunch, you know, with the avocado, feta, and a bit of lettuce. And literally, like, I've got a bowl of seeds, which I would never normally
pimp up your salad, I call it. So, you know, add your crunchy toppers to it. So you've got this nice variety, and it makes it interesting. So a good, you know, salad base, add some tuna or chicken or leftover meat from the night before, you know, maybe a bit of goat's cheese, some feta, and then all your, you know, your seeds and nuts on top. And
it's, you know, it's about new learned behaviour. We come from that generation, that borderline generation was meat and 3 veg, and your salad literally consisted of iceberg lettuce, tomato, cheese, and maybe a little bit of onion.
I find that so weird.
All
cheese,
it was.
It's obviously an Aussie thing. I'm German. We don't put cheese like that in salad. But anyway, but I think the one thing that women need to focus on when it comes to diet is protein. What I notice with women in our age, a lot of them are on, I'm a vegetarian, I don't want to eat so much meat. So they're not actually getting enough protein. And you need to make sure you're getting at least 15 to 25 or 30 grams of protein per meal, you know, 2 or 3 times a day. And that's not a lot. That's a chicken breast, that's a piece of salmon, you know, some tuna, and it's easy to do. But don't forget about that. And if you're not getting it from meat sources, if you are vegetarian or vegan, then you really need to focus on getting that protein from somewhere, because protein are the building blocks of everything in our body, our immune system, our, you know, muscle integrity, our tone. You know, this is what happens, you know, we get a bit softer, and I can say that because I'm getting a bit older, but you do, you lose that muscle tone. So making sure you're getting protein and collagen in your diet, you know, from good quality animal sources is really important, or marine sources like fish.
So the answer really to Linda's question, when we say, like, what is the best diet? It's
a whole food diet.
Whole food diet.
Whole food diet.
Whole food, high in protein.
Good protein, quality carbohydrates, and ditch the sugars, ditch the refined carbohydrates.
We have no choice now. I mean, it's what I was saying, ditch it. Like, you don't, if you are experiencing hormonal weight gain, you don't have a choice. You have to ditch the sugar. You have to ditch processed foods and packet foods. And if you don't do that, you will just keep putting the weight on, and you'll be someone that will be you'll be emailing everybody the same question, but the answer will always be the same. You just have to ditch it.
It's funny, isn't it, that it's one of the easiest ways to improve your health is to change your diet, yet it's one of the most difficult changes for a lot of people to make. But you must do it. You've got to tweak. I call it tweaking. So So I say, every year get a blood test, and every year have a tweak and go, okay, what's going on for me and what do I need to change? Because if you make changes a little bit at a time, then it's going to be much easier for you to maintain a healthy weight and a healthy body, healthy mind, and all those things if you're constantly working at it. It's consistency that's key.
And the thing is, you also have to try. You can't just go, I don't know what to put in my salad. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to do this. Go and buy a real simple, easy cooking book and literally open the page, put your finger on it and follow the instructions. You'll be amazed how easy it is.
Everybody can cook.
I've actually got a book. It's like 500 salads. It's just this little book, and it's great. Like it's brilliant. Yep, the things that you can call a salad these days.
If you can read, you can cook.
Absolutely.
So no excuses. So there you go. There's that answer to that question.
That is the answer. Okay. Next one.
Question two.
Question two is from Caroline. Caroline says, I have love handles that just won't budge. We're hearing you, Caroline. I have lots of other menopause symptoms too, but the fat around the middle is the one that bothers me the most. I try to walk most days, but is this enough to lose weight?
Right. Again, walking, fantastic place to start. Okay, really good place to start, but it may not be enough. Again, it's a bit like the diet question. You need to change things up. And as we get older, because of our bone density and our lack of tone that starts to happen, so that's this floppy stuff that goes on here.
I'm not raising my arms. You can raise them. I'm not doing that.
Well, it's what happens to all of us, and it is something that I'm now working on as well, and it's something you have to be consistent with. But it is, again, it's about like changing your diet. You've got to change up your exercise. And one of the most important kinds of movements, well, I'm saying walking is fantastic. I walk every day. That's really important for cardio health. You need to do that. Move it or lose it. Keep moving. Whatever you do, don't stop walking. But in between that, maybe a few times a week, and very similar to what you do, go and do some resistance kind of exercise. So you do the Pilates.
Is without a doubt, hands
Reformer
down. Reformer Pilates, not mat Pilates. That's a whole different ball game as a killer. But Reformer Pilates is absolutely hands down the best thing that you can do to keep that muscle mass up, to keep everything kind of in place and in shape. I can't rate it enough.
And I think the one thing about Reformer Pilates, why it's so good, is it because it works on your core, right? And your core strength is what holds the integrity of your musculoskeletal system together. So when you have a strong core...
That's a big word.
Yes, it is.
That's a big word.
It's a new one for you today. So your musculoskeletal system. So if that has good integrity, if you've got a good core integrity and good strength through your core, you're going to have less backaches and less issues in your, in your structural health, in your physical health. So that's going to be really important. And you do that. Reformer Pilates focuses on that. The other thing you can do or incorporate with that or change it up is weight training. So weights are really important. And, rather than small weights at high repetitions, they do say that heavier weights and less repetition.
I've got some over there.
Yeah, we've talked about those, and they will stay over there. I think we use them as bookends now. That's all they're good for.
The other important thing, though, is going back to basics. I know that we all, every year, we look for something new, a new fad, a magic pill. I mean, everyone is looking for the magic pill. Trust me, I'm still looking for the magic pill as well. It doesn't exist. But it goes back to Linda's question at the beginning as well, is, it's the old adage, calorie input versus calorie output. So, yes, walking is fantastic, but if you've just eaten 3,000 calories for the day and you want to go and walk that off, you're going to be walking for a week. So, again, walking is fabulous. It's good for circulation and a number of other things. But if you're trying to use it as a form of weight loss, you're going to struggle. It's not enough.
It's just enough. And the other key thing is here, you need to find something that you love. So you will do it every day. So you will go to Pilates. So you will, get a girlfriend who's going through the same thing and join up together to give you the motivation and inspiration to keep going.
Well, and you'll laugh at this, but actually when I go through phases with my walking, and it will depend on the audio book that I'm listening to at the time. So if I'm listening to a really good book, and especially if I'm in a good part of the book, I am way more motivated to go out for my walk and walk for longer because I'm listening to my book. But if I'm not really listening too much at the moment, or if it's just like, if I'm just going through my podcast phase where it's only like a 20-minute or a 30-minute podcast, I'm not as well motivated to actually go and walk because I really want to see what's going in the story. But everyone's different, but you'll be surprised at what motivates individuals.
I think one of the great motivators my sons are both into is a guy called David Goggins, and I don't know if you've heard of him from the States. And he was enormous. He put on so much weight. Had lots of mental health issues. He was in one of the armed forces, and as many of them do, you know, PTSD and things. And his thing then was to eat, and his weight, he was enormous. So look him up, Dave Goggins. He's touring Australia soon, I think, this month or whatever. Anyway, but he is an absolute inspiration, and his thing is just move. Keep moving, keep moving, his is running. Like, he got into running. He just needed, because it helped with his mental health as well. So he could process things. So whatever it is you find that you do, that you love, whether it's yoga or Pilates or swimming or dancing or cycling, jogging, whatever it is, you know, go and do park run on a Saturday morning, 5 kilometres.
Can I ask as well another common question just to add to Caroline's question there? Because we see so many women now with the Fitbits on and doing the 10,000 steps. Is 10,000 steps enough?
Well, they've actually reassessed that in recent times, and they said that you only needed 8,000. But you know what? The more, the better.
Yeah, okay.
Just keep going.
Okay.
You know, you don't need a watch to tell you whether you've done enough exercise. Really.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is an absolute fad. My daughter has one of those. I will never get one. It's like I will never own a pair of scales. Right? I just don't. I don't know what do they call my pair of scales when it's just one. But anyway, that's a weird. Anyway, just for another day. Okay, but you know, I will never get on to scales because I know in my own body, you know, how I feel,
you know when you
and
put your clothes on.
I use that as my, you know, that's
guide.
my litmus test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When I put my clothes on, when I look at myself in my mirror, when I put my bikini on in the morning, when I go and play swim, my bikini is actually my measure for my physical health. And I said the day I give up my bikini is the day I've given up. So, you know, and my bikini is that keeps me honest. That keeps me on track because I think if I can still wear a bikini and get away with it, I'm doing the right thing.
Well, you're doing pretty good, love. You're doing pretty good.
All
right. Question 3 from Susie. Susie says, I've been struggling with menopause for more years than I can remember. Will I ever feel normal again? I am fat and stressed, and sex is the last thing on my mind because I just don't like myself. So how could anyone else? That's a sad question, that.
Well,
it's all too common.
It is common. As I say, it's not one, you know, it's not like we haven't heard it before.
Yeah, like there's a little bit to unpack in here.
Yeah, there is a bit to unpack. There's a few things going on.
First of all, she's a long-term menopause sufferer. I don't want to say sufferer, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So menopause can last up to 12 years. On average, it will last about 7.
Yeah.
But even the lady I was talking to this morning, she has been going through it for 13 years. So,
it can come in waves. You know, it can be worse and better and worse.
So, you know, so she's got long-term menopause symptoms here. And you can understand why she doesn't feel normal. Yeah. She's got hormonal weight gain, stressed out, and you're absolutely right. You don't have to be going through menopause not to feel like sex because you're carrying extra weight.
Exactly. So I think a lot of that comes down to confidence at that age too. It's like you've thought, oh well, this is it. This is who I am, and this is, you know, how it's going to be now for the next 10 years, and I'm never going to feel like sex again. And you know, and that puts a strain on the relationship. So then that adds added stress. So it's this vicious circle, isn't it, that you get into with
and the other thing with weight gain is depending on how much weight you want to lose as to how big a task that can be. So for someone that is just carrying an extra 2 or 3 kilos, in their mind, they think if they work hard enough, they know that they'll be able to lose that in a time frame that's acceptable, that's not daunting.
Yes.
But someone that is perhaps carrying 15 or 20 kilos, I mean, you may as well be carrying 100. Like, you know that you're...
That's hard.
It's hard. Like, in your mind, you think you're never going to be able to lose it. And even if you do, it's going to take 2 years. And how are you going to stick to something for 2 years? And then you get into that mental cycle that you can't do it.
It looks like the goal is too big.
Too far away.
It is. So, you know, one of the important things to do there is to break it down, or just to, I think, go and get some help. When you've got that multitude of things going on, you really do need some help. And luckily she reached out. And then there's obviously that multi-pronged approach that we can offer through diet and lifestyle advice. This is the time, I think, when you also need to look at some supplementation, because what it will do is just help you to feel good. Because again, it's that vicious cycle. So if you can feel better about yourself, if you can reduce some of that stress and you can start to feel a bit more confident, then you're also going to feel more motivated to make more changes. The better you feel, the better choices you will make. So if you're feeling well in yourself, you're not going to go and pig out on a pizza or McDonald's or an unhealthy milkshake or something like that. You're actually going to go, I'm going to have some tuna and salad, or I'm going to have a nice chicken dish, and I'm going to go for a walk.
I'll give it look. I want to give another little tip here as well, is that we find that if we put on weight and we have outgrown a lot of the clothes that are in our wardrobe, then we stop dressing well.
Yeah.
And we just chuck any old thing on, or we go and buy the next size up, which is fine, but I'll come back to that in a minute. But we stop caring about our appearance as well. Now, the minute you stop caring about your appearance on the outside, even though beauty comes from the inside, we all know that. But when you're dealing with these kinds of issues, you really do have to make even more of an effort to do your makeup in the morning, to do your hair in the morning, to try and feel as best as you can. Not only that, I also would recommend
you need to love who's looking back at you.
You do. Now, if you don't like, don't wear old clothes. Don't go out and buy, baggy clothes or bigger clothes. Get a stylist. This works really well. You can get a stylist. Go out and learn to shop for the size that you are, because your body shape has changed. You've not only put on weight, but your body shape has changed as well. And I bet you're still wearing the same clothes or style of clothes that were appropriate for you maybe 5, 10 or 15 years ago.
Absolutely.
It's not anymore, and that is not going to help with the way that you feel on the inside.
Well, that's right. And it's funny how some women do that. They think if they wear like all black or they wear baggy clothes that they're going to look slimmer.
I'm wearing black. Oh, you can took the words right out of my mouth. Yes, absolutely. It's not true.
It doesn't work that way. You actually end up looking like a sack.
Yeah.
And
I'll give you another really good example.
I don't want to get to that point where I can't say that because I don't want to offend anyone. But this isn't one of those conversations. This is about trying to help you retain your confidence and help you feel good about yourself. And these are all little things that you can do. It's not just one thing. It's going to be a combination of things that can help.
I find as well that as we get older, and especially as we go through menopause, and a part of our body shape changes, apart from it being like around our middle, our bottom, our thighs get thicker, that our boobs also get bigger, as well as reducing. You missed out on that. But one of the things that I do notice with a lot of menopausal women that have got these bigger chests is that they still are wearing clothes that come up to their neck. And they cover all this area here because they think they're trying to hide their boobs because they don't like it. Now, the problem with that is it makes you actually look even bigger because you're shelving yourself, and it's making you look even more top-heavy. So women that are a little bit top-heavy and are carrying that extra weight, you need to be wearing V-necks, low round necks to show off that skin, and it will give you that height.
A bit of curve.
Yeah, a bit of curve at the top. So I just find that so many women I see walking down the street, and I just want to pull aside and just go, if I could just, put you in a different top, like you'd have so much more confidence. And it's the same with people's arms. Just because you've got that, that little bit of soft, doesn't mean you have to start wearing shirts all the way down here. It just means you might want to wear like a cuff shirt, because you don't want to wear a singlet. There's just a really small wardrobe changes that you can make that you'll feel so much better as you go through the journey of trying to, rebuild that confidence.
And I think women need to accept the fact that we will not have the same body that we had when we were 20. I don't have the same body. I have, my structural shape is sort of there, really. But it's sort of,
I could show you pictures of her when she was Miss Burley.
But it's a long time ago. But it is, like, things are softer, it's different, and you have to get to a level of acceptance about the changes that are going to occur in your body. Unless you're going to decide to become a supreme athlete and with zero body fat and absolutely push yourself, and hey, who's going to do that? Nobody. But if you're an average woman like the rest of us who are journeying through menopause and trying to find our way through it, then, you know, diet, lifestyle, exercise, acceptance, confidence.
Wardrobe.
Yes, wardrobe. Okay, if you need, you know, makeup tips on how to feel good, get your hair done, those sort of things, have a pedicure, manicure, whatever you need to do to feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
And then I guarantee you will feel sexy again too.
It's a knock-on effect.
Yes.
You know, like a domino effect.
When you feel confident in yourself, you're going to feel sexy, you're going to look sexy, you're going to project that
And
out.
I can assure you that your husband will think that you are sexy no matter what you think of yourself. Your husband will love you through it,
of course,
no matter what. Yeah.
And if you're single, you'll feel sexy too.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Last question 4 from Helen. Helen says, I need to get my health back on track and I don't know where to start. What are your top tips with menopause and losing weight?
Okay.
Top tips.
I reckon, I'm going to go 4 top tips. Get your hormones balanced. Hormones need balancing. You need to find a way to do that. Now, you can either do that through the assistance of some supplements, which can help with that. So there are herbs. There are beautiful herbs that can help with hormone balancing.
We've got Fem Balance as well coming out.
Yep. So we've got a new product coming that's going to we've got the Sweet 16 herbs in it that we love, that are all going to be there to help you balance your hormones naturally. So get some help. You know, give your body a bit of a boost because it's looking for it. It's going, you know, help me here. So hormones, get them balanced. Get them tested if you need to, but you know, sometimes you just don't need to. You know from the symptoms what's going on. So if you can have a natural hormone balancer. Number 2, nutrition. We spoke about that. You need to change your nutrition up. You need to focus on protein and, you know, those healthy things that we talked about. Good fats, quality carbohydrates that come from fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds and things like that. Exercise, movement. Find something that you love to do and go do it every day. Mix it up with some weight training, resistance training. And the number 4 thing I'm going to say, and I don't normally add in, but I do, the relevance of this is becoming so much more important for not just menopause women, but for everyone, and that is sleep. Because when we sleep, and I bang on about this all the time, when we sleep, we heal. Right? And if you're not getting sleep, if you're one of those women that's up every night and you're getting hot flushes and you've got restless sleeps or restless syndrome and you're not getting quality sleep, your body is not recovering. You are not healing. It's not restoring. You are not rejuvenating.
That's cool.
And you will feel like crap.
Yep.
And then everything else goes out the window because you're too tired, you're exhausted, can't bother eating properly, and what you're going to do is reach for unhealthy snacks that are just going to give you energy.
And you make excuses. When you're tired, you make excuses not to do things because I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes.
Yeah. So sleep. So hormones, nutrition, movement, and sleep. They're my 4. They're the big 4.
Big 4?
They're the big 4 that women need to address. And if you can address all those things in your life and consistency, making sure that, you know, you have a little bit of a plan to follow. We've got so many great resources at Nature's Help that women can look at and look through.
Yep, absolutely.
And they can reach out
to us. What we haven't already put out there, we've got available. Yeah. It's up here. We've got all the information available to give, to share, and to support.
And we're menopausal women. We're going through this too. You know, we're just like you. We're finding our way through it. I mean, obviously, we have some great resources and great supplements and great products to help you. And, you know, because
we can be just as bad. Like, I will hold my hands up. I've got everything at my fingertips. And sometimes, because I just get busy. You just have days. Or, you know, it can be 2 or 3 weeks sometimes that I'm completely out of sorts.
Yeah.
I'm out of whack mentally. I'm tired, like, because I'm not sleeping at the moment, because I'm not focusing on the sleep. And, I know what to do. I know all of this. And yet still sometimes you just it's just too hard. It's just too hard. And then you go, right, I need to write it down, check myself in, hold myself accountable, and just get started again.
And don't beat yourself up. Like, just restart.
Like
every Monday or whatever, reset yourself, restart, and start again.
Just whenever you can.
You can all do it.
Well, why do we always choose Mondays?
No,
it's always a Monday. I'll start on Monday. I know.
Yeah, it's just what we do. Yes. So I hope that's helped. I hope that's helped, you know, uncover the secrets to weight loss in menopause and lots of other things too. You know, if you can address those things, it's not just the weight loss that's going to be improved. It's also going to be the hot flushes will improve. You know, they won't be so bad. and other symptoms, obviously aching joints, and all those things will also be better. So you're going to find that all those things start to improve as you improve your diet, your sleep, your exercise, and it all comes together in the end.
So I just want to thank you to Linda, Caroline, Susie and Helen for emailing in with your questions.
And all the other women
and all
that write to us, bonus.
I hope that you have got something out of that will be able to help.
Yeah.
And help to be your best self.
Yeah, absolutely. All the best, ladies.
Bye
Cheers.
for now.